Show up, show up, show up, show up. Hello and welcome back to Show Up with me, Sofi Bonde. Yes, and this is Elisabet Hultén. She is a journalist to begin with. A journalist, and also you've been working as a news anchor at TV4, a big Swedish channel. And now you're sort of changing your path a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. I think that I've been an entrepreneur since I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Different branches, like I was in restaurants and I had a nightclub when I was like 25.
Fun.
That was fun.
Yes.
I was young and I learned a lot about having staff, how to lead. There's a lot of difficulties being a young woman. I remember when we had like a committee for the shop owners and the people working with different businesses in this little town where I grew up. And I posed a question and nobody would answer. They couldn't even look at me because they couldn't take me seriously. I was so young. And they looked at I brought a woman that worked with economy. So she was older than me. And they looked at her and answered. I posed a question and they answered to her.
Wow.
I learned then that being a leader or the boss, so to speak, is a quite lonely place. And you have to be prepared for that because you can't be, especially when you work with young people, you can't be one among the friends. And that's a lonely place.
Yeah, I can imagine. So that's a good lesson. And that's also something that feeds like the next question. Like, are you willing to pay the price to be that person? Because I can imagine once we go into something, or for myself too, sometimes I go in to like this new world I want to enter and go all the way up to the top, but then I slowly realize that maybe I'm not built for this. Like, do I feel good about this? And I know as a coach, this is something that you're helping people with.
The first thing is it's important to really listen, and we don't do that often. We are so busy, we're running around, we're pushing, and we're doing, and we're delivering, and we want we feel like we have to prove something. So we have to search for stillness and just feel into how does this feel. And we have to differentiate between, is it uncomfortable because I'm growing? Is this aligned with what I want to do? Or is it just not aligned? So you have to really listen and feel into that. And it's sometimes hard to connect with your inner voice and really know what you want to do.
See, this is a very good, like, is this something I want to do because, you know, if I'm scared, if it feels uncomfortable, is it just because it is scary, or is it just that this is not right for me?
Exactly.
Because it's so, I think it's so easy to take the easy way out, but you end up feeling not so good about it. So there's no other way than going through if you want to achieve something or reach to somewhere that,
Exactly.
And it could be anything. It could be a fisherman or a...
when I started out, my journey to personal development started maybe when I was 26, 27, and then I've been in and out searching.
Me too.
But over the years, I learned that I wanted to collect, like pearls, these soul-connected moments. And when I did that more and more, I could eventually find my way. I discovered that what makes my heart dance and sing, actually, it was my teacher. I entered into a mentoring program, and she posed a question: what makes your heart dance and sing? And that question really, it struck me, and I was like, wow, that's what I want to feel. I want to feel my heart dancing and singing. Of course, it won't be dancing and singing 24/7 every day, because we live here on planet Earth, and shit happens.
Yes.
And also the other question was, what lights up your soul? And these are really good questions to think about when you want change in your life. I focus on women that wants change, and oftentimes that's work life, because work is, I mean, the biggest part of our lives.
Yeah.
Apart from family, but sometimes we have more time at work than with our families, and maybe that's not what we want, and maybe we are stuck in a place where we are not soul connected at all. Maybe we feel that we are not reaching our full potential, or maybe we feel that we want to start our own business. So it could be many things. And for me, it was, I mean, for the last 10 years or so, I've been together with 2 other partners, and we've had 6 different companies, around 20 stores maybe. So I was in retail, but that was not my soul connected place. No. We've had hundreds of employees, so I've been coaching them. At one point, I felt it's time for me to do my own journey, because I've always, jumped in on boyfriends' maybe lives and just, okay, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. You can throw a ball at me and I'll catch it and I'll do something with it. But then I felt no, time to stop, feel. And I went on this soul searching journey, and I realized that I've been a coach and a leader all my life. I actually started coaching friends and friends when I was a teenager, without even realizing it. And it has always made me feel good. And people have been really appreciative about it. So when I realized that this is what I do, because I want a work life where I love what I do. I don't want it to feel like work. I want to feel passion. I want to feel joy. I want to be proud of what I do. I felt I never judge anybody, but for me, working in the retail industry, getting people to buy new clothes all the time was really, we have planet Earth that we want to take care of. So I was like,
it was
it
like
doesn't feel right. It
Yeah.
didn't really sit well. I felt, I know I have great potential. I know I want to work with something that lights up my soul. And I want to make an impression.
Yeah.
In this world. I want to. And I want to help others find their passion and build lives that they love to live.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I love it, and I'm so grateful that I dared to listen to my soul.
To that inner voice.
To that inner
and
voice.
I mean, this journey could lead towards being anything. I'm just thinking, like, sometimes we think it has to be so big, like I want to be the president or the biggest rock star on earth. It could just be, it could be what's big for you. Like and I think that's so amazing when you can find that, and so important. And it seems like some people find it like this. And some people, I'm like, that maybe, you have like your antennas out and you feel what other people need, and you sort of help them follow their path, and you're on it for a while, and then it doesn't feel right, like you were saying before. And I think this is so common to do this. And I mean, and then we die.
Yeah, you die. Sometimes I ask people, if you were to stay in the exact situation you are now until you die, how would that feel? And people go like, no, I want to change this and that, and
Yeah.
But the thing is that we're conditioned since we're very young. Somebody said that I don't know exactly the term in English, but how we look at the world, our understanding of how the world works, is set at 4 years old, and then we keep, learning what people say, but also the silent messages on how to behave, how to be. So we grow up in a culture. For example, in my case, I come from a really academic environment. Everybody was, my grandfather was a professor, and everybody were like PhDs. So, and my parents said to me, do what you think is fun. Because what you think is fun is something you can be good at. That's what they said. But I still felt that I had to go to the university. My friends went out traveling, backpacking. And I remember I felt something in my heart, like a little movement, but I was like, no. So I'm going to go to Spain and study Spanish because language is always good to learn. And then I came back after a year in Malaga, in Costa del Sol. That was amazing. And I learned so much. And then I came back and I started studying. But I didn't really know exactly where I was going. I just knew that I had to get my education. And I'm grateful for that because I learned a lot. I studied ethnology.
Of course, you never regret knowledge.
No, I never, no.
Education
And experiences. And I went to Spain again to study an international master. And then I went to Cuba also before that. And I did my thesis, dancing salsa.
Perfect.
Yeah, and having mojitos. And then I studied journalism and I was like, okay, both my parents were journalists.
Okay,
Yes.
so
was it really me who chose that? So that's what I think a lot about, that we are conditioned in the culture we grow up in. And we have these silent expectations and very often not silent expectations. I mean, parents telling their kids like, I expect you to take over the family business, or I expect you to become a doctor or a lawyer, or I don't know. To dare to just leave a career, it demands courage.
I think it's a lot about that, because it can also feel like, sometimes even like you say now, like sometimes maybe it's what feels familiar to you. So you grew up with two parents within that profession, so you knew a lot about that profession. Like what did it take, and what did they do to prepare for their work and interviews and everything they did.
Yeah.
And I think so of course that's like, it felt familiar and like a path you could take, but then like, what do you want to do? Do you think that's a good question? Like when you said like, okay, so if you die tomorrow, like, is this how you want to die? Like, is this how you? That is maybe a good question to ask yourself. Like, for everyone.
Did you make that impression that you want to leave?
Yeah.
Or what is important to you? Is it having a job others think is, the shit?
Yeah.
Or is it doing what you love, feeling at peace? I mean, and I think that many women, also men of course, they struggle with a lot of anxiety, and they're tired and they don't have energy. And many times I think it's because they're not doing what they really want.
And then you have to struggle even harder. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it demands a lot of courage to break free.
I heard this thing the other day about that we're sort of we're wired to survive, not to be happy. And I just thought that, okay, that might have been true. Like we were, prey animals, and I think we needed to survive. We needed to get food, but today, I mean, we still have a lot of problems in the world. Many people don't have to struggle to survive to the next day. So I mean, so we have different sort of ways of looking at life and what we can do. And
that's very, very true. But it's also a fact that our brains function the same way as they did before. So we base our decisions on past experience. So if it's an unknown territory, our ego mind, that wants to keep us alive, our brains tell us that might be dangerous, don't go there. So then you really have to, dissecate what is this? Can I do this? Is it really dangerous? What's the worst thing that could happen? Okay, I could lose my face, I could make a fool out of myself. Would I die from that? No. We have to learn ourselves to think in a different way. And the way to, if you have a goal, like I want to, for instance, take a coach like me. I want to become a successful coach where I get to help people thrive and transform their lives. So maybe you feel like, oh, who am I to do that? Can I really do it? How do I even get there? I need to get an education. What else? Can I start my own business? I don't know how to do that. You have to visualize yourself already being there. Like, really see yourself as that confident coach, helping people thrive. And imagine how you would feel when you're there. And just feel it. And then act. And you have to think about that often. You have to write about that. You have to put down your vision in words and in pictures and just go into it and feel it. Because then the brain will have a new experience. It's like you give your brain a new experience and then you dare to go on your way. Yeah. It's hard, but you can train.
It's like, it's so easy to do, but I think it's so easy also to just give up on it. Oh, it's not working. Like, I mean, now I've been like talking about this as if it's already happening and it's not happening. Then there's something that's not, maybe there's something missing in it. Like, is that really what you want? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't like fully see yourself there, then maybe you need to tweak something in your life.
And people tend to give up, as you said, quite easily. I mean, if it's something that you really want, you have to work for it. I mean, things are not going to come just like that.
No.
So keep your eyes on the ball and just do the work.
Yeah.
That's it. And also, it's almost as if it seems silly to say, but if you open the same door every day, you're going to have the same view. So you have to dare to open, and there comes the courage again. You have to dare to open new doors, because otherwise you will never get new results.
So true.
And it's scary. It's really scary. But when you have found what you know is meant for you, when you know this is my purpose, this is what I want to do, it becomes easier. And then we speak about the wall of fear. It's there. And you know that on the other side is my goal. I'm going to crush it. I'm just going to go. And some days you're like, I can't do this. But then you remind yourself, you visualize yourself in that place where you want to go. And you can go through anything. You become unstoppable.
So cool.
Yeah.
Such a great feeling.
That's the best feeling.
Well, I mean, you are wonderful. I'm sure so many people want to come and see you. We will leave details if someone can contact you.
Yeah.
And I would love to come to you like once a week. I mean, that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
but yes. And thank you so much for listening in, and we will see you soon again. All right.
Bye.
Ciao.
Show up.